We're all going to be better
subject.
for this now. So this is good.
Paul Hamilton with us now on the Western Hotline. Paul, how are you?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Any thoughts on this topic, or can we move on?
I actually just hooked up, so I don't even know
Good.
what we're talking
Good.
about.
Let's just move right along, Paul.
Just as well.
How did you feel about yesterday's hockey game?
Well, I enjoyed it. It was fun to watch. What I saw of it, Lindy Ruff decided to have practice at 10:30, and I knew this was going to happen. I left about maybe 5 minutes into the third period, and I knew we were going to get there, and the media was just going to sit there and look at the ice until the game was over. Sure enough, that's about, the coaches, and because in Harbor Center there are monitors around the like if you look through the glass you can watch, and that's what they were doing, looking in and lying, and the coaches were looking through the glass at the game, at the overtime, and the players were in the locker room still, and then of course when the goal was scored everybody went crazy, and the players came out pretty quick. So practice started about 35 minutes late, but I knew that's the way this was going to roll, that we were going to get down there for practice and we were going to sit and freeze in the in the arena waiting for the team to come out, which is what happened. But as far as the game went, you don't need me to tell you that Canada had the better of the play, and I always wondered why some people were saying they thought the United States were a better team. And even with you guys, I kept saying any team that shows up with a center ice of Crosby, McDavid, and McKinnon is going to be a really hard team to beat. And even without Crosby, I thought Canada was the much better team. But in another thing we've talked about all for the last couple of weeks is, in these one-game tournaments, your goaltender shows up, and he can pull one on you, and that's exactly what Hellebuyck did. I mean, he was as good as he could possibly be, and made some great saves along the way, and was fantastic, and showed why he has won the Hart Trophy as a goaltender, which not too many goaltenders have done, and really led Team USA to victory. And the players themselves said without him, they wouldn't have won.
Yeah.
Now, of course, they had to kill off a 133 5-on-3, which they did a great job on. Hellebuyck, I think, only had to make one really good save, a one-timer by Celebrini. Other than that, they did a really nice job. So, that was good. Their penalty killing throughout the whole tournament. They never gave up a power play goal. The whole tournament was very good. So, there were other things that they needed to do, a little luck along the way. McKinnon, how he missed that play in the third period. Yep. He could have that 999 times out of 1,000, and he would score he would probably miss that once every 2 years, maybe once every 3 years. He just isn't going to miss that, but he did. He missed that. They had two great chances on power plays by Celebrini over the net on both. But I will say this. Sometimes a goaltender makes you shoot over the net because you've got nothing to shoot at.
Yeah.
And I think that could have been part of the case, too. And Hellebuyck stopped the best two Canadians that came down on breakaways, McDavid and Celebrini, both at clean-cut breakaways. And it's almost like they gave up on it.
They didn't know where to go. I know.
Yeah, he gave them absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And it was just like McDavid just barely got a shot off. It was like between the post and the pad, and I think the pad actually got on the puck. But there was just nothing there for those two players to come down on. So, it wasn't all Hellebuyck, but it was mostly Hellebuyck.
Yeah, tough for him that he was hurt earlier this year. They're pretty buried, Winnipeg, in the standings. But he's had, he's one of these guys that's had this reputation, Paul, for not being able to come through in the playoffs. His save percentage in the playoffs is well below 900, which for a goalie of his caliber is really, really noticeable. So, but sadly for them and him, I guess he's not going to be able to use this as a springboard for the playoffs. But he finally had a moment here where in a game of that magnitude, he was the best player on the ice.
Well, I'm thoroughly convinced, and I've said it for a long time, that Winnipeg overplays him. So by the time they get to the playoffs, he's dead. I mean, it's over 60 games almost every year. And sometimes it's like 65 or 67, I believe maybe was his high. And his save percentage. I actually looked it up because I wanted to see what his numbers were at the Four Nations, which were fantastic, even better at these Olympics. But in the playoffs, he was something like 24 and 34, somewhere in there, and his save percentage was a little bit over 900. It was right there. It was right on the, and his goals against, I think, was 2.90. And I'm just thoroughly convinced that he's dead by the time they're into the playoffs, because we see time after time after time in the regular season how good he is. And he wins the awards, and people call him the best goaltender with good reason. And then he gets to the playoffs, and it's just not there, and I just think they overplay him.
How about Thompson's tournament, Paul? He had chances yesterday.
Yeah, no, I liked it, especially it was the Sweden game when all of a sudden Sullivan decided to put Hughes on their line. It just wasn't working with Connor or anybody else that they had put on there. Keller was the other one. It just wasn't working. And once Hughes went out there with Larkin and Thompson, I thought they were their best line from that point forward. Hughes really, I think, made a difference on that line. And Thompson got a lot more scoring chances, and I just thought it was a very good line. I think Larkin put a couple in the net after that, and I thought that line really performed well. And it seemed like every game he was getting quality chances. Lindy brought this up yesterday, that he felt maybe Thompson had the best chances the U.S. had, other than the goals that they scored. And I remember in the second period, it was almost rapid fire. Larkin set him up in the slot, and he got stopped. And then right after that, Hughes set him up almost in the same place, and he put a really nifty move on, but he got in too far, and he hit the side of the net with the backhand, a move that he often will put in the net. And then in the third period, he had a really good opportunity in front of the net. I thought the puck was going to come right to him, and I thought that was going to go in for him. So I liked his tournament. Nobody really – I mean, Team USA didn't have a guy who really took off with goals. I mean, Thompson had 3. I'm
Matthews maybe had 4. I think. I think he had a good tournament, but not spectacular.
No, I thought Matthews was good. I thought Eichel was good. I thought I really liked Matthews in that tournament, to be quite honest with you. And the only thing I didn't like about Matthews, and Eddie Olczyk brought it up numerous times, is that play in the power play, and he did it a couple of times in the tournament. He was being too nice. I mean, he got that puck. He was wide open, and he tried to force a puck to Matthew Tkachuk, who was covered, and he had the shot. I mean, if you're Austin Matthews, I want you shooting that puck. And that was the only complaint I would have, but he really, I think improved his defense and really concentrated on that. He didn't want to be the guy that let his team down defensively. Eichel, I really thought, had a really nice Olympics too. I liked him too. So maybe it was something for, because Matthews has had the reputation too because of the Leafs. The Leafs never go anywhere.
Yeah.
And Matthews is the big reason for it. Well, now maybe he has that monkey off his back as the captain of Team USA, and he walks out of there with a gold medal, and he plays well.
Just to fill it out here, what I'm referring to on Hellebuck, we've already covered him, but I'll move on quickly after this. The last 3 years in the playoffs, his save percentage, 886, 864, 866.
Mm-hmm. I looked up his career.
903 for his career. Earlier in his career, first time in the playoffs, 17 games, 922. There's a 931 in 8 games in 2021. But the last 3 years, when he's really been one of or thought of as the best guy in the league, he's really underperformed. I wanted to ask you about a player. Mike asked a question I really enjoyed thinking about and answering earlier today. Was there a player in this tournament that you really maybe, like, the light went on for you? Like, that you hadn't really been exposed to or seen a lot of, that you came out of the tournament going, wow, this guy. For me, Boldy was that. Like, I did not realize what a big, impactful player he could be. And the play he made yesterday for that first goal was, outside of Hellebuck and the saves he made, was maybe the best play he made in the whole game. I mean, it was an incredible individual effort for that goal. But Boldy was not a guy that I had really thought a lot about, and he might be one of my favorite American players now.
especially since he got between two Colorado Avalanche defensemen, and one is considered the best defenseman in the National Hockey League in Makar and Taves, and he just split him easily. I don't know what happened to Makar. He had an awful game. He was responsible for both goals. And on the overtime goal, not only did he allow Hughes to poke the puck past him and then take off on a very poor, stepping up, he didn't hustle back. He was gliding.
We just talked about this a little bit ago.
Yeah, if he hustled back, he probably gets to Hughes because he's a fast skater.
Yep.
But he was gliding, and at the last second, he's, okay, let me go to him. Well, too late. And but anyway, I kind of regressed there. For me, Celebrini was. I'm not going to lie to you. When he was drafted, I had no idea he was this good. I knew he was good, but I had no idea he was this good. Coming out of college, he all year long has surprised me, but kind of topped it off. I think he was even better in the Olympics than he's been during the season. And, he's the second leading scorer in the Olympics. I didn't have that on my bingo card.
No.
So he's the guy for me that really has opened my eyes both this season and even more in the Olympics.
So, Paul, what did you learn today about, from the Sabres standpoint, their expectations for Thompson to join them by Wednesday?
Lindy said there's really no plan. Lindy has no idea how this is going to play out. He actually had the wrong time they got in. He had him in last night. They actually didn't get in till this afternoon. So he already thought they were there in Miami. So that's, kind of how far he's out of the loop right now. And he said, really, there's no plan right now. I don't know how he is, how he feels. He's not worried about injury. They said they learned rather quickly the injury was fine. And don't forget, Jarmo Kekalainen was there with Team Finland, so he probably got a report very quickly from the U.S. doctors. So it's not bad. It's just, as busy they're going to be in the White House, or not the White House, the
State of the Union.
State of the Union tomorrow, and just the adrenaline you're on by winning something like this. I don't know how many guys are going to be ready to play by Wednesday, other than Tage, Thompson, or whatever. So, and then the snowstorm, and Lindy was thinking, well, if they got in last night, we can get them to Buffalo, Miami to Buffalo. That's not a problem. We can go on the charter then. But
that's not happening.
He said, really, what's that?
That seems like that's not happening, right? They ended up, right.
Yeah, it seems like most of them are probably going to go, to the State of the Union, which probably puts him out of playing in New Jersey. So, I would think then we're talking about the Florida game, getting him down there for that. Now, Lindy did say, he goes, I know Tage Thompson well enough that he's probably going to want to play. He goes, whether he's ready to play or not, he goes, I don't know. He goes, so really, as of right now, it's when he was talking to us around noontime, he goes, there is no plan for him. I mean, there is a plan for Luukkonen and Norris. They're playing. Well, I don't know if Luukkonen's playing. He's cleared to play. He's available.
Yeah,
he's cleared to play if they want to use him. So I know that plan. He hadn't gotten the results from Benson's testing yet. He was hoping to get him when he got back over to the arena. We were at Harbor Center. So he doesn't know where that's going, but he just did say, he goes, I don't see how he could play this week. And he actually said the whole week today.
All week, so, wow, okay, all right.
Well, yeah, so it seems like, he's going to maybe miss 3 games more, depending on what the results of these tests are and this mysterious
what are the
injury, whatever.
What are the clues? It's not the same injury that he got knocked out of that game in Florida with, right? It's something else that's is it like more of a illness than an injury, or do you just don't know?
I was thinking illness, but he's skating on his own. I mean, Zucker certainly wasn't skating on his own. He was floored by that illness. I mean, so I just don't. And Lindy almost told us. He was on his way to telling us, and then he stopped himself. He goes, no, I'm not going to say. So sometimes when he gets on that tangent, he will go through with it. Sometimes he won't. He didn't go through with it this time. So I don't have a guess for you guys. I really don't know what this is, but it has nothing to do with the upper body injury that put him out.
All right, Paul. Great game yesterday. Great to talk.